Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Remember, if you love film, gaming, or television content, please consider clicking that subscribe button because today it is time to talk about the new film from acclaimed director Guillermo del Toro, and that is Pinocchio. So, let's get into it. I'm sure everyone is at least somewhat familiar with the story of Pinocchio as it has been retold so many times, and even recently, I think it might have had like 4 or 5 adaptations in the past few years, which seems like a bit much. But anyway, what Guillermo del Toro's version adds is that vision that a director like him can bring to the screen. This is a stop-motion animated film that explores death and life as well as political factors such as the rise of Mussolini. It's full of things to analyze and is so layered, which is something that you don't see normally in a lot of Pinocchio films. The biggest thing that I enjoyed about this was just the pure vision on display from Guillermo del Toro. He brings so much to the screen here. He's definitely a filmmaker that I have a ton of respect for, and the way he stylizes this works really well in creating one of the most beautiful worlds in cinema this year. The animation looks absolutely stunning in every single way, and the production design here is so intricate and detailed. I truly haven't seen a stop motion film look this good since Isle of Dogs, and for me that's saying a lot because Wes Anderson's stop motion films are just so full of creativity. I really wouldn't be mad if this received an Oscar nomination for its production design because it is really that good and is just so detailed. It varies so much throughout the film, and I really have to credit both Guillermo del Toro and Mark Gustafson on creating these worlds. I also really appreciate a lot of the voice acting in this. Most of the ensemble here deliver some great performances. You can tell that they are really committing to make these characters feel a lot more layered compared to a lot of characters in other animated films. I especially loved Ewan McGregor as the talking cricket and David Bradley as Geppetto. Del Toro has purposely made these characters so detailed that when they show that emotion, it really connects with you. I think Pinocchio really wraps things up nicely when it starts to dive head first into its themes and messaging. It really captures your attention, and I thought the third act was truly brilliant. This is an animated film that doesn't feel like it's made for kids, and because it embraces that more, it's able to go for a lot more of a mature tone, and it can explore those dark themes and subject matter. With all of that being said, this just did not grip me in a way that makes me think that this is Del Toro's best work or a masterpiece. I think there are quite a number of things that weigh this down for me personally, and the first of which was the voice performance of Pinocchio. They got a real kid in Gregory Mann to play the character, and because of that, he definitely can capture those childlike tones, and in the latter end of the film, he does shine here. But in the beginning, Pinocchio is a very unlikable character that just feels so annoying. I'm glad that the character gets redeemed a lot later because in my eyes, it could have become almost unbearable if that had continued. I'm also feeling as of late that a lot of Del Toro's work turning into films that I more respect than I enjoy. For example, in his last film, Nightmare Alley, I enjoyed so many of the technical elements, and the story itself was interesting, but Del Toro's approach just kept me at arm's length from embracing this like I wanted to. Pinocchio does do a similar thing in my eyes. I respect a lot about this, and I do think it is a really good film, but it's one that I appreciate more for its craft than how much it hits me as a force of storytelling. I think The Shape of Water was the best film from Del Toro in my eyes, and that was the last film of his that really just connected with me. Another thing that Pinocchio suffers from, and I'm honestly getting really sick and tired of giving out this criticism, this just feels too long. I think at 90 minutes, it could have been more effective compared to the 2-hour runtime it manages to reach. I'm getting kind of tired of going to the movies and feeling exhausted afterwards because a lot of filmmakers are just refusing to restrain themselves a little and be more concise with their storytelling. Don't get me wrong, I think there are films that definitely warrant a longer runtime. My two favorite films of the year, for example, are close to or reach the 3-hour mark. But when almost every movie I am watching gives me the feelings of it being too long, it just gets tiresome. Overall, I definitely will recommend Pinocchio to you. I know I've said some bad things about it, but I do think with all of that being said, it is probably one of, if not the best animated film of the entire year, and it would be a really good pick to take home the Oscar in Best Animated Feature. I enjoyed the craft on display. I just felt like a lot of it was keeping me at arm's length, which is a shame because when it would go into the territory of being something I could fully embrace, it was really impactful, and I could come to that understanding as to why it has been reviewing so well. I'm going to give Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio a strong 3.5 out of 5. It's a good animated film that definitely deserves your attention, just from the sheer creativity from both del Toro and Gustafsson. Worth the price of admission alone. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. Tell me in the comments below what you think about Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Do you think this will do well at the Oscars? Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.